Form and content are terms that you hear often in almost any scholarly discussion of the arts. But what do they mean, and why are they so often paired up? At the most basic level, content can be defined as the subject of an artwork. In other words, what the artwork is about. Form is the means through which that subject is expressed. Another way to look at it is, content is what the artwork is about, form is how that meaning is presented to the viewer. The two terms are often paired because works of art need them both. Form and content are a team. They depend on one another. Content provides something to express. Form supplies the methods and techniques necessary for us to experience it. And form doesn't just allow us to see the subject content. It lets us see that content in a very particular way. It lets the artist shape our particular experience and interpretation of that content. In the world of cinema, form is cinematic language. In other words, the tools and techniques that filmmakers use to convey meaning and mood to the viewer, such as lighting, camera angles, focal length, editing, moving camera, proxemics, mise en scène, and sound. In other words, the content of most of this DVD and textbook. If we consider the Juno scene analyzed in Chapter 1, the content is Juno in the waiting room. We could be more specific and say that the content is Juno thinking about fingernails and changing her mind. The form used to express that subject and meaning includes decor, the dolly-in, juxtaposition, patterns, implied proximity, point of view, and sound. There are plenty of examples of the interplay between content and form on the short films disc that came with your textbook. Several times in Death to the Tin Man, director Ray Tintori expresses the love between the characters Bill and Jane. But he uses different form in each shot. His formal choices vary depending on whether he wants us to experience the love as dynamic, romantic, or doomed. This moment from Spam Coup is about the protagonist's elated anticipation of a year's supply of canned meat. The form director Steven Tushita uses to convey that meaning includes time-lapse photography.
All day long I was oozing with anticipation, thinking about the wonderful new recipes I would be feasting on in a mere 2 weeks.
And a series of artfully posed shots of Spam concoctions.
Spam cupcakes, Spam nachos, Spambalaya jambalaya.
In this scene from Andrew Lund's Snapshot, the content is memory, the photographer trying to recall a particular picture. The form is a progressive series of collages composited over the moving image.
I think I see it now. It was outdoors. The cafe, huh?
Memory is also the subject of Deborah Chow's The Hill, specifically a late-night conversation in which former lovers deconstruct a troubling incident in their shared past. Much of this content is conveyed through dialogue and performance.
Why are we here?
But director Deborah Chow uses a variety of formal techniques to craft our experience and interpretation of each character's conflicting versions of the same event. And finally, the content of Bartholomew's song is a factory worker's developing and ultimately consuming interest in music sparked by his discovery of a tape player. But the movie's deeper allegorical meaning would be lost if not for the director's use of form. The deliberately austere industrial set design, the Spartan costumes and makeup, the carefully balanced compositions, the sound design, and a series of meaningful juxtapositions transform this simple story into a metaphorical conflict between creativity and conformity.